Please raise your hand if you have eaten in the last 24 hours. I bet all of you have. Some of you are even eating as I speak right now. Now, this leads me to a second question. Are you aware of the damage you have done to the environment? Are you aware that you are an animal killer? Even if you're a vegan or a vegetarian person, you're still an animal killer. Because when a crop field is created or expanded, as you can see in this picture, it's too dark, you cannot see it. As you can see in this picture, or should see in this picture, when a crop field is created, the agricultural border gets expanded and pushed back. This means that all the animals, plants, trees, water bodies in this area will get obliterated. And the problem with this is that it kills the 98% of biodiversity in this area. And sometimes this is not even worth it, because the 50% of the soil volume in this place will get lost in the first 5 years. And after those first 5 years, from 5 to 30 years in the future, the crop field will be completely gone. And here's the twist you were not expecting about this. This is super necessary for we to exist. Every single one of us needs to eat in order to continue living. And this is just, as I like to call it, survival of the fittest. In order for the humanity to continue, we need to eat. As you can see, we live and they die. And there is no problem with this. You should embrace the fact that this will happen inevitably. The problem is that since the beginning of all times, we have been eating. Since the first human was created, he was eating every single day, at least 2 times a day. And maybe from that time, you have maybe, just maybe, reproduced a little bit more than you think we should. Let's take the 1890s as a reference point, where the population was only 1.6 billion. And even at that time, with that low amount of people, we could not keep up traditional farming going on and had to switch into factorial farming that is worse for the environment. Now, if we take a jump into 100 years later, today in 2019, we're almost at the mark of 7.7 billion people, according to worldometer.info. And if we could not keep up traditional farming with that low amount of people, now that population has 5-folded its size, how do you think we're going to? Not so good. Crop fields are losing space to be created. Cows don't have enough space to be bred. And this generates a huge loss in rainforests. And I don't like to say this, but today we're losing 11 hectares of land each single minute. That means 6 hectares of land every single year. 6 million hectares of land every single year. And this is killing biodiversity. And I don't like biodiversity because, as you can see in this picture, there are penguins in the bottom. I don't like it because penguins are super cute, and I love penguins. It's not about that. It's because penguins are necessary. We need biodiversity to continue existing because there is a food chain. And if there is one animal less in that food chain will be lost because a lot of animals will die. A wise man once said that if there were no more bees in the world, we would not stand a year more. And that is why we totally need biodiversity. The lack of biodiversity is going to kill us later or sooner if climate change doesn't do it first. You might be thinking that I have a very good and reliable solution, but the answer is I don't. I didn't have a reliable enough solution to end this problematic forever. But I think that we can take small steps in order to improve this problematic. Like, for example, planting some of the fruit and vegetables you eat at your own house, like I did for my science projects. Eating less meat each week will also help. Being responsible with our reproduction and the amount we eat, not wasting any food, and taking care about the whole environment. I was Fernando Cotes. Thank you very much.